Hey everyone, welcome to Divas Live with the Dating Divas, your guide to strengthening marriage one date at a time. We're coming at you today. This is the 23rd of February. I feel like this year is going by super fast. I am Caroline, and this is Amanda.
Hi, I'm Amanda, and you can catch us on the second and fourth Tuesday of every month at 7 o'clock Mountain Standard Time. Caroline, see, I got it wrong. It's 6:30. Look, she let me start the intro one time, and I totally bombed the whole thing. So 6:30 Mountain Standard Time every second and fourth Tuesday of the month.
Yes. Awesome. You got it. And you can chat with us one of two ways. I have got Twitter pulled up here on my phone. If you use the hashtag Divas411, so DIVAS 411, those are the numbers. I'll be checking out that hashtag, and Amanda is going to be making sure that we see all of your comments that you leave on our YouTube live chat. So we are super excited to get started today. We don't really have any announcements. Amanda, any that you can think of? Anything super exciting?
Well, we do have a product in our store today that is just fabulous. So you should go to the site, click on recent posts. It's the very first one that's up today, and it's a Christ-centered Easter countdown for your family. It's a 14-day countdown for Easter. It gets you prepared kind of in the most important part of Easter, and it keeps you focused on the right things at this season. So it's really great countdown for your family. So go over and check it out.
Awesome. I totally forgot about that. I love those printables. They're super, super, super cute. I can't wait to print those off because I love it. Because usually when it comes to Easter, you're just, I don't know, you just don't know like how to even decorate or just get prepped for Easter. I feel like that's the one holiday that I don't know what to do.
Yeah, well, they have great candy. I think Easter has the best candy, but often I get lost in the bubbles and the sidewalk chalk, and we kind of lose focus of why we're even having Easter. So it's such a great way to get your whole family on board and prepared for the Easter season. So it's really, really cute. Check it out.
Awesome. Yeah, we've had some great post-air as well. What have we had? Marriage After a Baby by our girl Chanel. Talks about like 5 really kind of stressful problems and challenges that you have after having a baby for the first time. Amanda, do you want to talk to us a little bit about that since you're the mama here?
Well, I think she breaks it down really great for everybody. It talks about defining roles of what you and your spouse are going to do now. You kind of have a different focus in your life, and sometimes you have to talk about things and who's responsible for what and how we can work together. You're both on the same team, and lack of energy and lack of sleep that really gets to all of us when we have a new baby. We're all so tired, and sometimes we get irritable because our whole schedule has been interrupted. And so sitting down and chatting about that and intimacy, getting back together after the baby, and there's healing and all. Anyway, it's on hormones and focusing on the hubby when your baby takes so much of your focus. It's just a great post, broken down really well. And it's something that you and new dads, I mean, women and men both together, should sit down and read it together and then chat about it. It's a great springboard for a conversation for new parents.
Yeah, so I love it. So for all of those problems, they kind of give you like what you can do to resolve those. So I love that. We've also had 10 apps to strengthen your marriage. This is a Diva Central kind of post, but you can see the trailer on our main site. It's fabulous. I love these apps. I may already use some of them. So they're really, really fabulous. We also have the 10 obstacles. 10 is just a number this month, I guess. The 10 obstacles in intimacy and how to overcome them. So, you know, the challenges of being tired, being stressed out from work or from, you know, just from your day. anything, feeling insecure, lacking confidence. We talk about those things and how to overcome them. So if that kind of sounds like, oh, that might be interesting, we've got that link down below. We also had an amazing post that when I first saw the pictures, I was just in love. And then I found out our own Miss Amanda wrote the post. So I'm going to let her tell us about the Oscars party.
Caroline is so nice to me. I like her a lot. So there's an Oscar party because the Oscars are coming up, and I think it's just, do you know when it is, Caroline? Because I can't remember if it's next weekend or the weekend after that. It's coming up really soon.
It's soon. I don't know off the top of my head.
Okay. Well, just trust us. It's coming soon. And when I was in college, I had an Oscar party every year. I was the theater major, and so acting and awards were part of the shindig. And so we would have these big parties, but I haven't had one since until I did this post. And it has cute invitations that you can send out to your family, your friends, whomever. And there are ballots, a link to ballots for this year. And there's, just cute decorations so you can get ready for your Oscar party, food decor, and swag bags, because if you're invited to a big Oscar party, you're going to get an awesome swag bag. So there's tags for those bags that you can prep for your guests so they can go home with a little treat. And it doesn't have to be super fancy. It could be like cookies or candies or something. So it's just a fun group date idea to get your friends over, watch the Oscars, and maybe get dressed up, maybe play some games, or even if you're not totally into watching the Oscars, you could just have an Oscar movie party and watch some of the great films that have been nominated. So lots of options, awesome opportunity for date night, and that's what we're all about. So you should check it out.
Yeah, I love it. So it is February 28th. I just Googled it for 2016.
What is this weekend?
So yeah, and I love the idea of the swag bag because that's what I want. I want to go to these parties for the stuff that they get.
Every stuff.
It's just incredible. Anyway, so we've had a ton of other really great posts air on our site, so you should definitely go check it out at www.thedatingdivas.com. And it's our brand new beautiful site. It's been revamped, and it's a lot easier to navigate now, so I think you'll like it. We've also got a lot of great posts coming up. One is the sexy bucket list. So we do have another post where we have a bucket list that you can kind of print out and fill out, but these are 118 sexy ideas for you to try throughout the year, or these ideas might keep you busy for a while. So what was that?
I hope they keep you busy for a while. That'd be a big night.
I don't know, maybe you're newlyweds, I don't know, maybe. But we also have coming up very soon our March love calendar. And that's coming out. And if you don't know what our love calendars are, every day it'll give you just something small that you can do for your spouse. So that is a really, really fun post that's coming up. So topic of the episode today, we're continuing on with the theme of love for this month. So we're actually going to be talking about the 5 love languages. Amanda, can you tell us a little bit about kind of just a general idea of love languages and what they are?
Yes. It's a book. It's a book by Gray Chapman. Is that right, Caroline?
Gary Chapman, huh?
Yeah, and it breaks your love, or how you feel, how you receive love, and how you give love into 5 different categories, because we all express love and receive love differently. And I was new to this concept until about a year ago, and my husband and I picked it up for a road trip, and it has really changed the way we communicate with each other and the way we handle arguments and the way we handle intimacy in a lot of different areas, and it's improved our marriage hugely. So it's broken it up into the 5 different categories, and stop me if I get this wrong, Caroline, but there's words of affirmation and acts of service and gift giving and gift receiving, quality time, and physical touch. And so usually we all fit into one of those 5 categories. And sometimes we're mixed. We might have a little bit of one or the other. And often couples will find themselves in one. The wife might be in one category and the husband in another. And they're expressing their love for their spouse in the way they receive it. But their spouse isn't feeling the love because they don't receive love that way. Does that kind of make sense? Did I say that in a clearer way, Caroline?
No, that totally makes sense. So, for example, the first one, words of affirmation, right? So if you're a person who really loves to hear that, you know, honey, I love you. Thank you so much for what you did. You're amazing. I so admire your tenacity and your ambition and your drive, and or receiving a love note. If that's something that you really enjoy, that's wonderful. But if, say, you try doing that same thing for your spouse, but your spouse's love language is all about like physical touch, and so they want to cuddle and hold hands, and so they might, you know, appreciate your gift of love that you're offering up, but it may not equate to the same thing. So
Right.
that's why we really love the 5 love languages, and kind of realizing for yourself, you know, what language do you speak, what resonates with you, and then for your spouse as well. So like we said, there's the words of affirmation. So we kind of talked about that. If that sounds like you, definitely let us know in the live chat if you already know what you are, maybe if you've already heard about the 5 love languages before. But acts of service. So these are people who you are over the moon when your spouse does the dishes without being told to, and just does them for you, or does the laundry, stuff like that, that acts of service. Then quality time is really, you know, being able to spend and carve out some time where you're not on the phone, where your spouse and yourself aren't distracted by other things. So you're really just being able to focus on each other and just spend some time together. Let's see, what else am I forgetting?
Receiving gifts.
Giving gifts, which I feel like gets a bad rap. I don't know about you, Amanda, but I feel like when I think about giving gifts, like, oh, people just want things, but that doesn't necessarily mean expensive things.
No, it doesn't. And that's my mom's love language, is gift giving. She is bound by a wheelchair, and so she feels limited on what she can do physically for people, and her hands don't work quite as well, and so she can't do a lot of things that she wishes she could do, but she can give gifts. She's really good at spending money, and so that's the way she expresses her love. And even though some of the gifts I don't need, or but I know that's how she's showing her love for me, by these little things that she sends me or puts in the mail or buys for me, because that's the way she expresses her love. And so reading this book has really made it clear to me of, oh, she's not just trying to buy stuff to buy stuff. She's buying stuff because that's the way she sends her love.
I love that. That's a perfect example. Because I totally feel like that one gets a bad rap.
Yeah.
Like, people are like, oh, sure, your love language is gifts. But no,
Right.
It's actually a valid one. And you can definitely pick up the book. It's an amazing book. You can read more about these. But then there's physical touch. So holding hands and snuggling and hugging. It doesn't always necessarily mean intimacy, but that really resonates with someone who speaks that love language. So if you're thinking about it, if you're just trying to express love to your spouse, you're really going to be able to say, okay, well, I would really enjoy this, but I think hubby would really like, you know, this gift, or maybe this act of service.
Right.
So that's something you can think about. And Amanda, I loved what you were saying about like how to like argue or even apologize after maybe an argument.
Yeah, it's really changed the way we communicate with each other. And my husband, because we read it aloud to each other in the car, and we were able to discuss, and that the book is really great that way, because at the end of every chapter there's questions to help you identify if this really resonates with you, and if it does, what to do about it, and if your spouse is this and you're not, how to communicate with your spouse. And my husband and I sat down and had a pretty candid conversation about how he is physical touch. And it's not necessarily, it is a lot to do with intimacy and being together, but it's also about when he's in a room and I come into the room and I don't sit by him and I'm not physically close to him, that's hard for him. Or when I leave to go to the grocery store and I just walk out the door without physically touching him or giving him a kiss or whatever, that physical connection to when I come or when I go is really important to him. And I had no idea that this was even a deal. I would just come in and sit on the other chair because it was open and more comfortable, but he was sad about it. I didn't physically want to be close to him because the physical touch was so important to him. And putting my hand on his hand or touching his leg or all these little things that never crossed my mind because that wasn't my love language really are important to him. And so now I make a conscious effort to speak his love language and let him know how much I love him and how much he appreciates that.
Yeah, I love that. That's a perfect example. I love it. And if you're kind of wondering, you know, I'm not really quite sure what love language I am. I'm thinking like I'm a lot of these or all of them. There is actually a link down below where you can go to the official love language site and take a quiz. So you and your spouse can do that for date night this week or as part of your date night. I think that would be a really great you know, just kind of way to get to know each other a little better. Even if you've been married for a long time, I think you might be surprised if you've never discussed the 5 love languages before. So I don't know. So let us know on Twitter or in the live chat here on YouTube. What love language are you? What love language is your spouse? What do you think? But yeah, I love, Amanda, so like when you apologize to your spouse, do you like make sure to be like holding hands or hugging or something like that?
Right. And to be physically intimate with him, like that bonds our connection better and allows him to express his love for me and his love language. And so that's a really important part of it. And last week, I mean, we sat down on the bed just 2 days ago and he said, you know, I think I've been killing myself this week trying to speak your love language and getting the kids out of your hair, and I've been doing the dishes, and I've been helping to put the kids to bed, and I feel like I've just been going above and beyond, but I don't feel like I've been getting that much back. And in my love language, and I was like, oh my goodness, that's so true. I'm so glad you told me that because I've been feeling just buckets and buckets of love and support from you, and I really haven't been reciprocating it the way I could. And so it was. You know, it was an apology and a candid conversation, but we understood each other, and I understood what he was missing and what he needed back. And so, because of the book, we were able to sit down and talk about it and understand each other better. I mean, I can't say enough about it. It's just it's a great tool for your marriage for better communication. Totally.
Yes, I love it. And what I also think is really cool is that if you follow us on Pinterest, or if you want to go find us on Pinterest, that link is also down below. We actually have whole boards dedicated to just one specific love language. So you can find tons of ideas from our site, so even printables that kind of match up with what you or your spouse is interested in. You can feel free to, you know, send that link of, you know, our Pinterest with those boards to your spouse if you want to, with, you know, like a cute winky emoticon face. So, or you can get some more ideas, you know, like my spouse speaks a completely different love language, or I just don't really understand it. You can kind of get some more ideas of what to do. So that's another really great resource. We have some posts. Also, I know some roundups. We usually kind of divide things by their 5 love languages. If you did our 30 Days of Love challenge, we also try to incorporate all of the different love languages and kind of rotate them throughout that whole process. Right. So it's something that we definitely think about as divas, right, Amanda?
Yeah. No, I'm sorry. If you go to our website and you sign up, if you haven't already signed up for the newsletter, you sign up for the newsletter, which is really easy. It's just your email, and we're not going to share it with anybody. We're not going to distribute it to a third party. But if you sign up for our newsletter, and that's a weekly newsletter, you'll get the 7 Days of Love. Is that what it's called, Caroline? The 7 Days of Love. And it goes through all the love languages, and it's something you and your spouse can do together and kind of clarify where you're at. So it really goes hand in hand with this topic. So if you haven't signed up for our newsletter, you should, because the 7 Days of Love, that's the way you get it. And it's just really, really great for your relationship.
Yeah, the 7 Days of Love is super cute. I love it. It's just like a little pill box that you get, which, I don't know, if you're like me and you already have those because you're kind of like an old grandma lady already, because you just need to take a lot of pills, or if not, they're super cheap. like if you go to the grocery store or the pharmacy, and it's just little things that you can put inside of each day. So it's really cute. It's really sweet. And I don't know, it's just fun, as you know, especially if your spouse is the love language of, you know, receiving gifts. That's a really cute idea to do for your spouse. So I don't know, Amanda, any other thoughts that you have on the 5 love languages that you really want to make sure we all know?
That is good.
You're the expert.
I'm not an expert, but I do think that you should go take the quiz. I think you should round your spouse up, put the kids to bed if you have them, and head over to this link that's at the bottom of our thing and take the quiz. And go to the library or go to Amazon or wherever and grab the book. I sound like such a dork about it, like I'm preaching this gospel of 5 love languages, but it's really just an awesome tool. So go and take the quiz and try to read the book. Go to the library, go get it. It's great, great, great.
Yeah, Amanda and I'm still a teacher, and Amanda used to be a teacher. So this is your homework of love from us. So go take the quiz with your spouse. Send them the link even, you know, if you're long distance right now, it'd be a fun way to kind of talk to each other and connect while you're apart. All sorts of great ideas. So, you know, please let us know, #Divas411. Let us know after watching this video, what love language are you? Anything surprising that you found out? Any funny memories? Maybe in the past, if you've known about the 5 love languages, or kind of what your favorite part was. You can also leave comments here on YouTube down below. And we're just really excited that you're here with us again. So Amanda, this is officially our last one for February, and I guess we'll be coming back in March.
Yep, March is good.
Believe it or not.
Spring, I can't wait.
Me either. So anyway, I was just gonna say it snowed here, so it doesn't really feel like spring yet. Anyway, so I hope I'm sending lots of warm, wonderful thoughts of weather to everyone. Hopefully we all get a nice early spring. And, you know, come chat with us over on Google+. We are checking that every single day. #Divas411 on Twitter. Again, find us on Pinterest. We're kind of everywhere. And we'll see you back here next time. Bye, guys.